Pokemon has never been recognized amongst the greats when it comes to anime, but thanks to Liko and Roy, things might change. The Goku archetype has plagued the Pokemon anime for countless years. A one-note protagonist has a ceiling, which in the case of Ash, was reached far before his final championship run. For the longest time, we watched a character who I will admit has conquered many feats throughout his time on screen. But the one flaw that was never addressed, no matter how many gym badges he obtained, is they never gave Ash depth. For some reason, the writers kept Ash on this extremely linear Sword and Shield-like path, which peaked during DP, reached new heights in X and Y, then Indigo plateaued for the rest of his journey. As great as these moments were, what we got from Kanto's finest, aside from battling, lacks in the substance department. I am genuinely jealous of other fan bases. Shows like Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, Free Rent get these multi-layered characters involved in these world-ending plots, exploring heavily political themes like betrayal and death. So it brings me great joy as the new arc of Pokemon Horizon's Megavoltage ushers in a complete shift when it comes to storytelling. With so many new changes, the real winners here are the Roy fans. After playing backseat to Liko for so long, Roy is now being seen in a completely different light as we see him team up with Cap and a new shiny Mega Lucario. Liko has been noticeably shaken by the uncertainty of Freed's whereabouts, so we might be getting a more darker side of her going forward. The Grass Cat is now fully evolved, which is a huge payoff considering everything Liko and Sprigatito have been through up to this point. Dot is the sleeper. Besides the major design change, she doesn't come off any different than how she was previously. She's returned to streaming thankfully, and there is a face reveal on the way. So it's good to see her continue to be more confident as we may see the Gourming suit retire. Liko, Roy, and Dot are in rare form right now. That being said, with the Megavoltage debut, we've got 2 episodes to cover. So there's going to be no Ash flashbacks or old series comparisons. I believe we're at a point where there's enough material to analyze this new generation. So in the Ash era is being put on hiatus. We kick things off in the Hoenn region, with Dot back home playing Wade as Roy and Cap look to investigate a raging Slack King. The subtle frames they show here may be innocent on the surface, but the writers really want you to know, hey, you know he's wearing a Mega bracelet, right? Remember Kalos, X and Y, Serena? I just found that hilarious, but very hyped though. Then we meet Alt, and I will say this, I like Alt. Instantly you can tell there is a big bro, little bro dynamic, and it really just makes you wonder what was Roy doing in Kalos that in 1 year's time he's grown this much. I did get a Iris vibe because he can be a bit extra, but it comes off more as an eager student rather than senseless annoyance. They end up facing off against the Slack King that has somehow been exposed to Laqueum. A very potent amount at that, because this Slack King lets off 2 Final Flash level hyper beams without recharging, almost leveling the forest in the process. With this newfound information, Roy then seeks out Liko because he's gonna need some backup. After like 70 episodes, we finally head back to Indigo Academy. We see Liko in her new Meowscarada, who the size difference between these two is so awkward, but it's impossible not to laugh because despite reaching her final evolution, she's still as childish as she was as a Sprigatito. That dynamic hopefully stays intact because based off Liko's recent loss of her father figure Freed, she's gonna need that balance as she goes through the grieving process. On top of wondering why Terapagos hasn't come out as Pokeball since that very day, Liko no doubt is going through a lot right now. Other than Roy, another main character who has made huge strides, and I will be highlighting going forward on this channel, is Anne. Not only is all her known Pokemon fully evolved, she is currently being recruited by Blueberry Academy due to her battling ability. The fact that she is not in any promo material highlighting these feats is crazy and criminal. Now, the battles that happen at Blueberry Academy is gonna be the one thing that takes this series to the next level. Headed back to campus, we see that Anne is somewhat of a local celebrity, and Liko is well known too. But the Rising Voltaclers has the worst reputation amongst the public, mostly due to the propaganda being spread by Spinel and the Explorers. Spinel, in my opinion, is on his way to be one of the best villains in the Pokemon anime. With Amethio out of the picture, he has taken fully control of the Explorers. Episode 1 was definitely a setting the tone type EP, because episode 2, they just hit the ground running, especially when we see Roy finally find Liko, and to my surprise, they instantly hint at a possible shipping between the two dual protagonists. This is what the series has been missing so far. Do I think Liko and Roy are the most compatible? No. Roy and Anne, now there could be something there. Romance aside, Roy shares the information about the Slack King and Laquiem. What I was shocked to see is that Liko was not jumping at the opportunity to help Dot as she used to. So much so, she turns down Roy's invitation. But we see Roy has not only matured in battle, but just in general, because he doesn't push the issue and gives her some much needed space. It's hard to see Liko in this state because you can tell she's taking somewhat of the responsibility of what happened to Freed, because she is the reason they even embarked on the journey. Anne breaks the tension, suggesting a battle with Roy, and the writers go on to let you know that Roy is on a completely different level when it comes to battling, because not only does he wipe the floor with Samurai, Fuecoco even comes out and KOs Meowscarada. The best moment of this episode was when the dust settles with the battling and the student body presses Liko on her association with the Rising Full Tacklers. As they learn that Roy is a member and also friends with Liko and Anne, Liko does freeze up for a second, but eventually stands on business. This being the push needed for her to agree to start another adventure with Roy to clear the Rising Full Tacklers' name, as we see the outfit change at the bus stop with Anne wishing them good luck. A nice callback from the first episode with Liko having almost the same facial expression but for different reasons. Plus this time she is definitely not alone. These two episodes do a great job of giving us an update of the main cast without giving away too much. There is so much story here, Horizons could go on easily for another 2 or 3 more generations without even exploring a new region or new Pokemon. The anime fans have been hoping for is finally here. We have characters with real depth. Actual lives and stakes are on the line. I've never swept or glazed for Horizons, but right now this is the best time to watch Pokemon. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.